Good day, I'm Martin Gago with Market Radius Research. It's Friday, April the 29th, and we're doing a quick news update with CEO Cameron Watt of Intouch Insight. INX is a complete provider of customer experience management products, services, and solutions, and the company just announced a major multi-million-dollar contract win. And we've got Cameron here to discuss the news with us. But please remember, this is neither a recommendation nor investment advice. We're here to learn about the company. Cam, thanks for joining us. And this contract seems to be a bit unique compared to your normal type of business. Can you tell us a little bit more about it?
Sure. It is a little bit different than our customer experience management kind of side of the business, where we do customer satisfaction surveys and operational checklists, and where we send people out to do overt and covert audits around, operations of multi-locations. For sure, it's kind of not that. It's a little bit closer to some other work that we've been doing since we picked up the C-level acquisition last fall, where we do have teams of people already who are engaged with large companies, and we go out and just collect data points from places, Wi-Fi signal strength, for example, verification of locations and things like that. So we do, if you look at our business more holistically, what we really do is capture data. Right? Whether it's a software that we sell or whether it's a service that we provide, we're a data capture company. And then we built software to help analyze and report on that data to make sure that we can hit our mission to add that, valuable information that actually delivers actionable intelligence. So if you look at that holistically, it's not that different than what we do today in terms of its data capture, but it is pretty cool and unique in that we are working for, good work that goes to a large gaming manufacturer, and we're using LiDAR technology in the field, lots of people in lots of places, basically mapping the real world. So, when you go and play a video game, one of the things that people want is as realistic as possible, right? And not just the view of the world, but games today are evolving to not just be, I'm on my couch playing it and I want it to be real, but games are evolving to where I play games where I'm also walking around and I'm interacting with the world that I'm in, right? And so you really have to have not just a really good graphics designer who goes out there and does a really realistic vision of New York. You need to have the ability for that game to know when that person is at a landmark in New York, or what wall they're looking at, or where they. So as things evolve and as people start interacting with the real world through their devices in their hands, that tie-in between the real world and the online world has to get tighter and tighter and tighter. So we're just taking our core capability, which is people, right, being everywhere at once and doing a lot of activity and collecting a lot of data, and we're doing that. And we're mapping and collecting a lot of data for this company. So it fits very well for us from a core capability standpoint.
That's interesting. And just to make sure people understand, LiDAR actually doesn't just take a photo of it. It tells the data capture person how far something is from them. So you not just get a photo of it, you get the dimensions of it, the distance, and so forth. So I'm guessing that data could be then picked up and dropped into a video game. So you mentioned New York, so you get the real dimensions of Times Square, let's say, and wandering around there. And that's the type of data you're collecting, so they can actually make a proper 3D representation of some presumably public space.
Yeah, well, that's correct. And it's all public space for sure. Obviously, we're not sending people into the government. It's all public space. And yeah, it's a type of radar. You can obviously, anyone can Google it and learn about it, but it's exactly what you said. It's just to create a really accurate 3D representation.
And there's so much talk nowadays of the metaverse and so forth, and we really are kind of with Google Maps and the cars driving around the cities, basically doing the same thing. And now but on a much less precise basis, you're going down to make these interactive meta worlds. And I guess you've been kind of doing that for a long time, bringing the digital world to the physical world. And this is just in a new marketplace as opposed to for shoppers.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of our stuff isn't necessarily bringing the real world digital. A lot of it's just bringing data in from wherever it is. The Google cars, for example, what they're really doing is taking video, right, or taking pictures, which ultimately is two-dimensional. And that's why we're using LiDAR, because it's three-dimensional in terms of what you get as an output, right? But really, for us, we don't care what the technology is. I mean, it's not like we don't own LiDAR technology. We're not even using our own technology or in the field. We're using somebody else's, right? Because what we're doing is capturing the data. We're providing people anywhere they want them, as many as they need to capture as much data as they want around the things they want to capture data on. And that's something that's our core business, and that's what we've been doing for a long time.
All right, and this is a fairly substantial size contract. It starts immediately for an initial 5-month term. You say initial, is there a possibility that this could get extended out or different stages to the project? Is there any insight you can provide on that?
Yeah, Martin, you're asking the $1 million question, and the one I think I've been asked all morning.
Yeah.
And and the answer is yes. We believe that there may be an opportunity to continue. Not that it's going to be on permanent or ongoing forever, but we do believe that there's opportunities to do more. Now, will it happen? That depends. It depends on our performance, obviously, on this contract. Now, look, we do this for a living. Like I said, this is in our wheelhouse. I expect that we will deliver and we will have a very happy customer in our hands. That is just my going expectation, or we wouldn't even be trying. Now, so why would we not continue if there's more work? Well, we have to also evaluate this opportunity. Large opportunities come at margins that are not the same as small opportunities, right? That's the way the world works.
Yeah, that was my next question.
Yeah, McDonald's doesn't pay its vendors the same amount that the guy who owns one restaurant does for their fries. Margins go with business. And so something this size obviously will put margin pressure on the business, no question about it. And so we have to, obviously I never see anything that is not public information, but I'm okay to draw the lines for you, for the people who are watching from our public information to save you a little bit of time doing your own research, right? And, one of the things that we've said is this was a C-level customer. This is a C-level customer we're expanding business with, right? Yeah. Well, C-level, when we purchased them, has a set of contingent payments that we make as well, right? As part of the acquisition. So to the extent that we continue to grow that revenue, we also increase our acquisition costs for C-level, which, while below the line, it will affect our profitability. So, we have to assess as a business at all times, how much do we continue to do? How many of these contracts do we take on? How profitable are they going to be? Are they worthwhile? The effort, the activity, what we're doing in the business, does it just make sense to tip forward and try to triple and double it? And, do we try to do that? Or do we say, well, hold on, let's manage growth, right? And let's manage it with maybe a higher level of profitability as we manage our growth. I mean, the growth is something we're aiming at, and I've stated and all kinds of things. That's our focus right now, and it'll continue to be. But we do have to make sure that we don't just chase revenue, right? Yeah. We can't just chase a top line dollar, because that's never been what we've been about. We're not about chasing top line dollars. We're about chasing good, strong, profitable business that recurs and it's sticky and grows, with really good customers and good logos. This has the potential to be just that. It also has the potential for us to look at it and say, you know what, let's regroup. Let's, after this next one, let's take a look at maybe going a different way or doing something differently, right? Got so it. I never say that so I always say that, these relationships are two-way streets. So do we think it could continue? Yeah, I think it could. I think we're going to have the opportunity potentially to have it continue. But we're going to be very responsible as a business, and we're going to look at all the inputs and all the financials, and then we're going to decide how we go forward in the best possible way for our shareholders.
Have they done a contract like this prior to the acquisition? This kind of LiDAR type or something similar?
No, this is net new in terms of the technology we're using and the contract and the customer. It's all net new, but the customer was doing other types of data capture, so not LiDAR. It was doing other two-dimensional type data captures out there that we were doing. So this is a new thing for them. And the customer has been around for a number of years with C-level. So it's not a brand new customer. It's not a brand new relationship, but it is a brand new thing.
Yeah. Okay, so you're going to do it, evaluate it. Maybe you'll say, yeah, we like it, but we need to raise our prices a bit more to make it make sense, and we'll only do it on those terms, or we have to adjust some other things. So they're testing you out, you're testing them out. You got it. You got it. All right. Okay. Well, it's a big size contract, and it's exciting, and I guess identify some other it's not just customer experience management. There are other data capture business out there that you guys can go after. So that's very interesting.
Yeah, for me, the key here, Martin, is that whether we keep doing more and more of this with them or not doesn't matter to me. What's cool is this demonstrates that we have a core capability that goes beyond, doing a mystery shop or doing an audit in a convenience store or a restaurant, right? We have a core capability that we can leverage in many different ways. And that's what's cool. We're a data capture company, and we can capture data anywhere in North America at an accurate basis, in a real time. And that's a really powerful skill to have right now. And so that's what's exciting for me about this whole thing, in addition to obviously the large contracts.
And I guess as well, maybe your salespeople and even other clients or potential lead customers, you can start saying, look, we do these other types of data capture stuff as well. And it can just sort of give you a bigger market to go after as well. And just sort of, hey, be a little more creative on business development ideas.
Heck, look, success breeds success, customers breed customers, cross-sell, upsell, word of mouth, all of it's good, right?
All right. Oh, cool. Anything else you want to add to that, or should we wrap things up here?
No, I mean, that's I think you covered the key points that people have been asking me about. We've talked about them. So I think it's exciting for the company. I think the contract is great. We're really happy with the customer that we're working with. We're hoping that we're able to pull things together in a way that it goes the right direction with them. And regardless, we think we found a new way to position and a new way to view ourselves in terms of our capabilities. And yeah, this is onward and upward from here as we continue to forge forward and come out of this pandemic and grow.
Sounds good. Cam, thanks a lot for taking the time to explain this and talk with us. Have a great day, and we'll talk to you again soon.
Thanks, Martin. Cheers.
Cheers.